Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to another episode here of the Gibraltar Challenge. Now, this is an interesting one because we have already won the league. This will just be the last two games of the season. We're going to play off against Olympique at home and then Lions away. If we look at the first division, as you can see, we've won it quite convincingly. We're about 15 points, is that up, with a game in hand. So it's looking pretty simple, this one really, isn't it? So yeah, we're going to play these last two games, probably experiment a little more with some of the players we're going to use. But let's get straight into our first match against Olympique. Right, so as you can see, we are quite a strong favourite here, as you can tell. 2-5 against Olympique's 13-2. Olympique are actually bottom of the league. And they've got a chance of getting out of the relegation zone. I didn't realise that the last two games we've got are both against the bottom two. So it's only fair that we beat them both, isn't it, really? That's only fair to both the teams. Michael Luke is the key man for us. He's really started to hit form the last half of the season. We played him quite a lot last year, and he never really did too well. And we played him quite a lot early this season, never done quite well. But now he seems to be knocking in goals at left, right and centre. Scored a hat-trick in his last game as well, which I did off camera. Really on form. He's going to play up front alongside Jack Peachman, one of our younger players, who is improving a little bit. Not quite sure if he's ever going to be good enough to stick around, but we're going to give him an opportunity here this evening. Monte Griffo on the left, one of our big players, and not had many games this year because he has to be sharing that left position with McDonald, who's on the bench today. McDonald's not on the bench, actually. I must have dropped him completely. We've got Jimenez Benitez, a player who I actually quite like. He's played a few games this season. First games, I think he played his debut in the last game of last season after we won the league. Played a few games this year, and look how well he's done. 2 goals and 3 assists out of those 8 games. Looking like a pretty good player. In the middle, we have Lee Howard making his debut. Again, looking like a pretty good player. He came from our academy last year. Did actually have a game last year in the league towards the end of the season, must have been. So we're going to play him again here today. First opportunity of the season for him. We've got Steve Foster, who is a player we signed in the summer, mainly as a potential player, but he's still had quite a few games this season, doing pretty well. At the back, we've got Joseph, our first choice left back, of course. Looks like he's going to be the only left back sticking around next year because I think Pons' contract expires. I'm not quite sure whether I need to extend it or not. We've got Matt Maguire in the middle, who's played quite a few games this season as well, doing quite well. Still got a way to go, I think, developmental-wise. Aloin Gonzalez, a player who I'm not sure whether we're going to keep or not, to tell the truth. He's not played a lot of games this season. He's been very unhappy for most of it. I think he's okay now. Obviously just unhappy with the training, but apart from that, he seems to be okay. So we might keep hold of him for next year, but I think he's struggling a bit. And on the right-hand side, we've got Ashley Riley, a player we brought in, was it the summer or the summer before? No, we brought him last year. He had 11 games last year. Not played a lot this year at all. Probably play a lot more next year, though. And in goal, of course, we have Callum McDonald. So let's get straight into this match. They're playing a 4-1-4-1 formation. Should be pretty easy to break down. Let's expect nothing less than a win from this one. Yeah, like I say, it should be pretty easy to break down. They're not a great team, Olympique, as you can tell by being bottom of the table. So I think we score 1 goal. I think the floodgates will open. This summer's going to be an interesting one because this summer I'm going to let a lot of the younger players go. I'm really going to purge. Last year I let a lot of the backup players go that we didn't really need anymore. Now this year there's quite a few younger players that looking at it I don't think are going to develop to the level we sort of need them to be. So I think it's going to be good for Gibraltarian football as well because once I release some of these youngsters, they'll probably get signed up by some of the other clubs around the country and it'll probably help develop the players to a bit better standard than I will be able to because they're not going to get a lot of football me. And obviously help develop the teams around us as well, which is what we ultimately want to do. We want to improve Gibraltar as a footballing nation. And they're in straight away, and Santos has hit the post, and it's cleared by Maguire. So yeah, we'll do that. I think in next season we're going to do a lot less episodes, because it's sort of like a given now. It's almost certain we're going to win the league every year. So I might only do like 2 or 3 episodes of the actual league itself, and maybe the first games of the season, something towards the middle, probably where the youth intake is going to be. And then something towards the end when we win the league probably. And oh, there's Michael Luke with a shot. It's off the post and Jack Peachman steals in to knock it into the empty net. And there we go, 1-0 up already. So yeah, probably do that. Of course, I'll show you the Champions League. That's going to be the main part of the series now. It's all about seeing how far we can get in the Champions League. So it's going to be a case of just rushing through the seasons and getting to that Champions League spot and hopefully becoming professional as soon as we possibly can. Because that's really going to open the game up for us. I found some really fantastic young Portuguese and Spanish players that are on free transfers at the moment, but we can't sign them because they don't want to move to Gibraltar without getting a full-time contract, which is a little bit disappointing. So as soon as we go to a professional side, we can start to sign some of these top-class younger players, and The thing is, some of the young players I found are really, really good for us, for our level, but I don't think they'd ever make it into the Portuguese or Spanish national side. So after playing in Gibraltar for 5 or so years, they would gain Gibraltarian nationality and actually improve the national side as well. So that's something we can definitely look at. It's just so important. As soon as we can become professional, that's going to be the big turning point for this series. As soon as we hit professional status, the whole game is just going to completely open up for us. So we're 1-0 up at half-time. Goal from Jack Peachman. Assist technically by Michael Luke. His shot hit the post and came back. Let's tell them we're happy with the situation and let them go off again. So, yeah, I will do a... I don't know if we'll do a season preview. I might just stick it on the end of this episode, show you top goal scorers and all that sort of stuff. I'll do a season preview just showing you all the players I've signed, all the players we've released, and then we'll get straight into the Champions League first qualifying stage. Hopefully we're going to get another easy draw and get through to the second qualifying stage. Last year, we gained nearly £500,000. Oh, they've equalised, Duarte. Cheeky. Yeah, last season we gained £500,000 for our Champions League escapades, and we only made it into the second qualifying stage. So if we can do that again, it's really going to help boost our money, and hopefully we can... hopefully the board will let us go professional. They don't seem to want to let us go professional. No, they don't think the club needs to. I've been trying to talk them into it for ages and ages. They just don't seem to want to do it. But hopefully eventually they will crack. If we can get a little bit further into the Champions League, if we can get past the second qualifying stage, which is possible, if we get a lucky draw, then who knows. Last year, of course, we ended up playing off against Malmo, the Swedish champions. We had no chance there, really. If we can get an easy draw in the second round, because there were some really easy ones in there. There was Welsh teams, there was Northern Irish teams, there was a San Marino side made it through to the second qualifying round. If we can get one of those teams, we'd be laughing. And maybe get some more prize money as well if we get through to the third qualifying round. I think the third qualifying round is where some of the bigger teams come into it, like the maybe the teams that come third and fourth in England. Peachman's in again. Peachman hits the post. And it's cleared there by a combination of James and Enrique. Maybe we should make a substitution to try and obviously get the win in this one. Benitez crosses in the corner. It's headed wide by Foster. Now, what we got on the bench to try and turn things around? We do have Hulk, who's not 100% happy. We've got Conroy as well. There's not a lot of choice, really, is there? Maybe we should bring on Cortez on the left in place of Montegriffo, because he doesn't like playing that position, really, Montegriffo. And he can't really take off Peachman because he's scored, and Michael Luke's been in rich goal-scoring form. So we'll leave it as it is at the moment and just bring on Cortez and that inside forward role on the left, which is one of his favourite positions. So as you can see, we've done fantastic. We've had 20 wins out of 26 matches. If it stays the same way, it'd be 4 draws and 2 losses. I think both those losses have actually come to Man 62. They really have our number every single year. I don't know why. We're going to be able to get another goal in this one, maybe? Michael Luke's not having a very good game at all, really. He seems to be very inconsistent, but when Michael Luke is on form, he's absolutely unstoppable. But why does it change this again? I don't know why it keeps doing this. It keeps changing that. Right, can we catch him on the break now? It keeps. I'm not changing that myself. The game keeps changing to highly structured and standard. I don't know why. I know it's probably something to do with the teams. Oh my God, Duarte scored. We're losing to the team at the bottom of the table. This is not good. I know we've already won the league. Why has Hulk all of a sudden gone to abysmal? We're going to bring him on the pitch. And Conroy on for Howard, who's struggling with match sharpness. And that's not good at all, is it really? Not good at all. So you see Roberts on the left-hand side, crosses the ball in, and Duarte with his second goal of the match. Ripped us to shreds. Ripped us to shreds. Right. There's still time to come back into this one, guys. There's 12 minutes of normal time plus time added on. I still think Olympique, if they can sneak up into that 9th position, they may have a chance of staying up on the playoff. If they don't, then they're down. We've got Lions next, though. If we beat Lions, then they're going to be very unhappy with us, old Lions. Letting Olympique win. But you never know. Conroy now on the ball. Need to get the ball forward, lads. Let's get a draw at least. We don't want to lose our 3rd game of the season. I know we did a little bit of experimentation, but I still thought the team we put out was easily good enough to win this one. Michael Luke has been on fantastic. I'll tell you what, Michael Luke, he never plays well when the cameras are rolling. As soon as the cameras are switched off, he's absolutely an absolute world beater. Oh, come on, ref. That went off for a corner. That blatantly went off for a corner. Riley picks the ball up again. Out to Benitez, who's got a hell of a cross on him. He's not going to get a chance to show us as he plays it into Foster. Foster plays it out and Benitez picks it up again. And there is that cross and ability I was saying about. It's gone back to Duarte. The guy scored twice. Now Michael Luke's in. Oh, and the keeper saved it. And this time it has gone out for a corner. Come on, lads. It's you lot watching at home. Every time I turn the cameras on, we seem to... Oh, Maguire, I thought that was a goal. Every time I turn the cameras on, we seem to flop. Well, we lost 2-1 to Olympique. That's not a great start to this episode. Of course, doesn't really matter. I've already won the league, but we're going to tell them that was not good enough at all. So let's go straight into that next match against Lions. And just quickly, we are back. Now, I have requested a senior affiliate side, and looking at some of these names, it doesn't look very good for us. I think they must be... That looks great to me, and never to look Turkish. Let's have a quick look. Right, so the first team is from Greece. They're a professional side based in... Is it the second division, is it? We're in the Superliga, so they're in the top league of Greece. Still not fantastic, really, for us. No annual fee, which we don't really need now. We don't really need the money. We would have... they would have first option to buy young players from us. And that means anytime we accept the bid for anyone, they can match it. Okay. The other team is Konyaspor. An ideal chance for them to gain a firm foothold within Gibraltar and help them secure the signature of younger players from Europa Point. I'm not sure if I'm happy with that because I'd like to keep a hold of some. But then again, letting them go out to the Turkish Super League might not be a bad idea. And they give us £19,000 a year. And then there's this club here. Ideal chance for them to gain. So it's both the same, really. I'm thinking of probably going for this club here because they give us a slightly more money. Not that it really matters too much. Plus, we can actually keep an eye on them because we do have the Turkish League loaded as well. So that's not bad. Which means they should have a full group of... No, they don't have a full group. Nope, no under 18s either. No under 21s even. So we're not going to get much chance of getting any younger players loaned in then, are we really? Okay, well, we'll go for these. They're going to give us 19 grand a year, I suppose. And it might help us get some more Gibraltarian players out into the bigger leagues as well. So let's go for them and see how well that really helps us out in the future. It might take a while. You never know, but I think, like I say, I think this will mean some Gibraltarian players will now start to spawn in the Konyaspor Youth Academy. There we go, done. Let's go to that match against Lions then. And here we go for this match against Lions. Now, very interesting this one because Olympique are bottom 1 point beneath Lions and they are playing off against St. Joseph's. Olympique's goal difference is terrible, so they're going to have to beat St. Joseph's. If they do, and we beat Lions, then Olympique could just scrape themselves out of that automatic relegation spot and put themselves into the playoff relegation spot. So I'm playing a strongish side, probably a little bit stronger we played against Olympique, but at the same time I'm playing a couple of different players than normal. Of course you can see we are heavy favourites once again. They are 7-1 to beat us. Let's have a quick look at the team. So only difference really, we brought Hulk back in up front in place of Peachman. McDonald comes in at right midfield. A good player, McDonald, got 11 caps for the Gibraltar national side now. And debut-wise, we've got Scott Ellis playing in midfield. Looks like a very good player, actually. Very, very good player. Only spawned in for us this year. I think he was our highest rated young player this year. And he does look very, very good, actually. So, going to get him in his first match. We've got Baxter at left back. Again, another younger player who's only just been spawned in this year, I believe. Yep. So he's making his debut as well. Defence-wise is more or less the same. We've got Barry Green in goal, who we got last year. He's been a pretty good player for us, but at the same time, he struggled with injuries. So so this is only his second game of the season. So yeah, enough of me nattering on. Let's get into the match, see how we get on. Hopefully we should win this one quite convincingly. We're going to go from attacking and fluid from the beginning this time, rather than messing around with all this Shawaddle. Which is actually a Pokemon, isn't it, Shawaddle? And here we go. Hulk and Luke take the kick off. And there's Ellis. Somebody we might see a lot more of next year, Ellis, I'm hoping. I think he struggled this year for injuries, as did Will Stevens, another player we got spawned in, I think, mid of last year. He struggled with injuries quite a bit as well, so that's a bit of a shame. Two of our best young players struggling with the injuries. And here's Baxter on the ball making his debut, the left back. It's a big ball up. It's cut out by Rodriguez. Back to Chiapi to Zurera. And it's almost like we've become quite complacent. We've won the league. And since then we've sort of struggled a little bit. Apart from obviously the match where Luke scored 4 goals. And he went into the next game and scored a hat-trick. He scored 7 goals in 2 games. And then he just can't score anymore. He's our top goal scorer at the moment with 12 goals this season. Hulk is down on 7. I think Cortez is on 7 as well. Showing that we're still struggling for goals. That's one of our main problems. It's a bit of a shame. Michael Luke is offside there. Another highlight. Lots of highlights. I think it's because we've gone fluid now where we're being a lot more expansive. We can be a lot more expansive as well because we have the quality. McDonald now breaking into the opposition's penalty area. He's got Luke in the middle. And Luke's there to hit the crossbar and it's cleared by Gomez and by Zurera. Finishes off the job. And it is actually a sellout here today as well. So that's going to be good for our fight. Well, it's not going to be good for our finances because it's an away game, isn't it? I think this is actually an away game. So it's a great... yeah, it's great for Lions. Yeah, it's an away game. Ellis with the corner. It's back to Hulk. To Cortez. It's springing around and it's Maguire who gets the goal. I believe that's his first ever goal, is it? Yes, his first ever goal for Europa Point. Matt Maguire, a good young defender. And it really sprung around and bounced off nearly everybody in the penalty area before Maguire punted it into the empty net. 1-0 to Europa Point after 11 minutes. So Olympique, they don't play their game yet, of course. Everyone shares the same stadium in Gibraltar, so they don't play their game until after ours, I believe. So they've got the chance. If we can hold Lions back here and defeat them 1-0, then Olympique have the chance to break free. There's still a very good chance that both Lions and Olympique will go down, but I think since we've started playing this game, I believe that the First Division side has won the playoff on every occasion. Of course, like I said, keep tuned to the episode after this match because we are going to go through a quick season review. We'll have a look at the league, we'll have a look at the second division, who won the cups, top goal scorers, assists, and all that sort of shebang. So that should be a bit interesting. I like doing going through the stats. And then, of course, our next episode will be a quick season preview. So I'll show you the players I've brought and the players I've sold. I'm not imagining there's going to be a lot of players brought in because I'm really struggling this year to find anyone who's good enough to really join us. There's one player I've got my eye on who currently plays for St. Joseph's. He's a right back, but he doesn't want to join a Spanish player. Doesn't seem to want to join us at the moment. He's just gained the Gibraltarian nationality as well. Actually, no, our next episode won't be the season preview. Our next episode will probably be the Champions League first round match because I think that cuts in before the season begins. So, they've equalised with a goal from Weber. Yeah, so our next episode will probably be the Champions League matches, the first round matches. Hopefully we'll get through that quite easily. I think the first round have got quite simple teams in the truth. It's the Faroe Islands, San Marino, Wales, nations that are really low down in the UEFA rankings. So yeah, hopefully we'll get past the first round pretty easy, get into the second round, and again just rake in a lot of cash. That is what we're looking for, lots and lots of cash. So we're drawing 1-1 coming up to half time here. Barry Green, in only his second appearance of the season, probably struggling a little bit for fitness. That's one of the main reasons. Great goal kick straight up to the feet of John McDonald. Matindo, the right back, great ball into Michael Luke, who plays it down perfectly to Hulk. McDonald, he's hit the post. It was an open goal and McDonald could only hit the post. But a great little layoff there by Michael Luke as the ball came over from Matindo. It's Ellis to take the corner. And it's headed clear by Rodriguez. Yeah, I'm assuming, looking at the stats Ellis has got, I'm assuming we're going to see him a lot more next year. He looks like a pretty damn good player. Now Maguire, the goal scorer, of course, for Europa Point on the ball. Obviously did nothing with it, though. So if we win this game, I think we'll win the league by 18 points, was that? Or 17 points? Not that it really matters so too much, like, does it? But let's do that one then. Yeah, not that it really matters how many points we win the league by. As long as we win the league, I suppose, get into the Champions League every year. It should get to a point now where we're going to start to dominate the league year in, year out. That's the key at the moment, is dominating the league, making sure we get into that Champions League spot. And if we do well enough to build ourselves up, then that'll help us get an additional Europa League spot, I believe, for Gibraltar. I think normally they'll get a Europa League spot for the league. So whoever finishes second is guaranteed a Europa League spot, and that's going to help them grow as a club as well. And as soon as we start to do that, we start to grow a couple of clubs in Gibraltar, and then the nation will start to grow, and we'll get some better youth players spawned in. Because one thing I have noticed is that Gibraltar has a very, very low youth rating. So even though we've given ourselves a better youth academy and training facilities than all the other clubs in the nation, we're still not going to get very good players come through, unfortunately. That's the problem. And it looks like it might end up being 1-1 here. No, Barry Green has another goal kick. I was just about thinking about a substitution then as well. Comes up to Hulk. Hulk on to Michael Luke. What's Luke got in the bag? Plays it out wide to Hulk. Hulk sees the run of McDonald. Sends McDonald a little bit wider than he wanted to go. But McDonald with a cross anyway. It's a great save by... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Any name that's first three letters is S, Z and P, I'm just not getting involved in, I'm afraid. Up to Cortez. Another attack here from Europa Point, maybe. Cortez back to Baxter, playing his debut. Cuts it into Frank Evans, the captain of the club. Cortez. Cuts it in. Hulk's on the ball, and Hulk taps it into the back of the net. And there we are, 2-1 against Lions. We're keeping the Olympique dream alive here with this win. Do we want to make a couple of substitutions now? Bring a couple of guys off the bench. Let's bring on Peachman in place of Luke, who's struggling again. Aidan Ives, another young player. Let's bring him on instead of Hulk. Give him his debut. And then we'll bring in Foster as well. Why not for Frank Evans? Let Frank Evans, the captain, be applauded off for the final game of season number 3. We've won the league every single... I still can't believe we won the league in our first season up on the top division. Was not expecting that at all. Europa Point just folded towards the end of the year. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, it was a real fantastic... I was not expecting it at all. I thought we'd have to consolidate ourselves in the top league for a couple of seasons just to get a bit better. Ellis playing it back now to Foster. Foster went for the shot. It's pinged off, and Lions on the counter-attack here. Webber's on the ball, but the referee does blow the whistle, and there is the 2-1 victory for Europa Point. What a great way to end the season with a 2-1 win. It's going to be interesting to see what happens as well. Look, very, very happy with that. And be interesting to see what happens in the final match of the season for Olympique. If they can pick up a victory over St. Joseph's, who are third, then they will break out of that bottom position and up into the relegation playoff. But I'm going to play forward a little bit now, let the season finish itself off, let the cup matches finish itself off, and then we'll come back with we'll come up with a quick season review. And here we are back here with the season review. So as you can see, we won the league in the end by 17 points, quite a convincing total if you don't say so myself. Lincoln, maybe there was a Europa League spot for second place this season then, because it looks like Lincoln Red Imps have got themselves into the Europa League. I don't remember that coming up and being told there was going to be a spot there for him. As you can see, Olympique were relegated, but Lions defeated Britannia in the relegation playoff to continue their position in Division 1, so that's pretty good for them. For us, top goal scorer Michael Luke with 12 goals. A lot of those goals were in a short space of time. Like I say, he scored 7 goals in 2 games, so getting 11 and 18 is not actually that impressive. He got a 7.09 average rating though, so he frustrates me, Michael Luke. He doesn't seem to do as well as I'd hope he would. Frank Evans got the highest average rating at 7.18 from 25 games altogether, so really good for him, including the 3 Champions League matches as well, so really good he was. Most assists was Isaac Cortez with 7. Still a pretty solid player, 27 years of age. He must be coming close now to gaining nationality, I would have thought so. Where does it say? I've lost it. I've lost where it says. Nationality, there it is. So there you go. He is now Gibraltarian. So if he decides to, he can take Gibraltarian nationality and actually play for the national side if he should get called up. Joseph is our best pass completion at 82%. Good old left back. Only played 16 games. I think he'll get a lot more next year because he's going to be our one and only main choice left back. And Hulk got most man of the match awards with 4. Also got only 4 goals this season. That's a bit of a worry from Hulk. 4 goals in 15 games. We're really struggling for goals still. I just don't know why. Apart from that, you can see we lost in the second round of the Champions League to Malmo, which of course we had the videos for earlier on in the playlist. won the league. We lost in the quarterfinals of the Gibraltarian Rock Cup to St. Joseph's. I was pretty disappointed with that. The eventual winners of the Rock Cup were Gibraltar United. I'm sure, let me just double check. Rules. There we go. Yeah, the winner of the cup qualifies for Europa League. So we must have 2 Europa League spots in Gibraltar now. One for Lincoln Red Imps and another one for Gibraltar United. That's pretty good. Should help grow the nation a little bit more. Gibraltar United are actually... Are they in the second division? It just shows how strong they are. They're in the second division. They won the second division as well. So Gibraltar United are coming up to join us. They won that division by 2 points over Britannia. And it just shows how strong they are and how close the 2 leagues are for Gibraltar United to win the Rock Cup and get themselves into a Europa League spot in their first season up in the first division. Senior Cup was eventually won by Man 62, our great rivals who always seem to defeat us. I don't know how they keep doing it, but they always seem to have our number. And the Pepe Reyes Cup, of course, we won against Angels. So we'll be in the Pepe Reyes Cup again next season. We scored 45 goals, which is the most in the league. We conceded 12, which was the least in the league. Average attendance, we were highest with 1,404 as well, so that's pretty good. If we have a look at the league itself, league table, let's have a look at the stats for this season then. Right. So, of course, we were highest on goals. I want to show you player stats, pretty bit better, isn't it? Player overview, there we go. There we go. So, highest at hitting target was Giovanni. Top goal scorer was Vadad Zafik, who is a player I've been trying to sign, but he doesn't see the point in joining us, apparently, which is a little bit annoying. I've been trying to sign him over and over again. When does his contract expire? His contract expires in 2018, so his contract actually expires today. 30th of May, no. It expires in 30 days' time. So we'll try and make another move for him as soon as his contract expires, see if we can sign him up. He's a pretty good player. Now, Jamie, another player I've been trying to sign, but he's just signed a brand new contract. He doesn't want to join us for some reason, which is a bit annoying because he's a really good player. Frank Evans was our player. Most dribbles. Most clean sheets, Callum McDonald. Least conceded, Callum McDonald, our goalkeeper, fantastic. Most tackles was Chevron Marandi. I think he's in the Gibraltar national side. He is. Not a fantastic player, though. And Carlos Trujillo, who's a Spanish player, looks pretty decent. I'm looking around. I should be trying to sign a few more of these Spanish players now. And Kevin Boateng did quite well as well. He's an English player. What's the scouts say about him? They say he's a pretty good player, do they? He'd come in as our second best midfielder. I think Tristan Sargent probably is a really good midfielder, though, so we don't really need him. So average rating, we had nobody in the top 5, which is a little bit of a shame. Carlos was top. Who's Carlos? A Spanish attacking midfielder. Not a fantastic player, though. Jamie's there, Boateng. Akrapovic, who did really well against us on a few occasions. Again, he looks like a pretty decent player, but the scouts don't reckon he's that good. Then again, our scouts aren't that good themselves. And an Italian defensive midfielder in the shape of Walter. He looks like a pretty good player. Man the matches, none of our players in there. Yellow cards, Alvarez got 3. Not a lot of yellow cards in this season. Which is a bit strange. Appearances, games won, games lost. Where is player detail? That's probably better, isn't it? Where's the actual... I'm getting so confused here. Where's top goal scorer and stuff like that? This is where I want to be, isn't it? There we go. So goals, Michael Luke came third with 11, sorry. Joint top was Zafik, who decided to sign, and Aidan Gio, who's a 19-year-old Gibraltarian player for St. Joseph's. That's quite interesting. Highest average rating we know is Carlos, Jamie and Boateng. Most assists, Jamie again, Boateng, Cortez. Player of the match, Carlos. Carlos is looking pretty good, actually, isn't he? I don't think he's that good, though. He doesn't seem to have the stats that back it all up, does he? McDonald and the clean sheets. And so really, we've dominated the season as in goals and games won and that sort of stuff. But really, individual stats, we've not done fantastically well. So it's maybe something we need to look at in the future. Not really much else I can really show you, I suppose, is there? There's some manager movements. Lions have sacked their manager. Europa FC have sacked their manager. Lynx sacked their manager. And Angels sacked their manager. The first division has gone down from 258th to 273rd. So hopefully that will go up again a little bit, because we want to really... We're underneath the Austrian level 6, and that's showing pretty bad. It's really bad. We want to try and boost it up a little bit and get into the Champions League again and probably help that out. Of course, we are going to get through to the Champions League. That'll be our very next episode, will be the Champions League first round match. Not sure who that's against yet. It's not been drawn, but it's going to be pretty good. We should get some more money out of it, and that's the main thing. And I think that's about as much... I'm choking. What happened there? I think that's about as much as I've got to show you at the moment. Transfer-wise, nothing's really happened yet. I've tried to sign a few players like Jamie and Zafik, but both fell through. They didn't want to join our club. I tried to sign Scott Wiseman as well, as a Gibraltarian player from... he was on a free transfer earlier in the season, and I refused to go for him. I didn't think he was worth it at the time. So I went to sign him again just a few minutes ago, but unfortunately he doesn't want to join our club now. He's quite happy up in Sweden, in Hammarby football. It's a shame because he actually... I'd agreed to deal with him, and I cancelled it at the beginning of the season because I didn't think it was worth it. And now I'd love to get a hold of him now. Real top-class player. I can't believe I didn't take him when I had the chance. It's just his wages. He wanted like 1.8 grand a week. And of course everyone else at the moment's on about £100. It would have been... He would have been paid more than the entire squad put together. So I didn't really need him at the point in time. Who's the bid by? I think the bid's by us, isn't it? Get out of the way. Is the bid by us? Yes, it was by us. We even bid £45,000, which would have been a record deal. We do have 70 grand transfer budget to spend, so yeah. And the only other players I tried to buy obviously was Zafik, who doesn't want to join us, and Jamie, who again doesn't want to join us. They would have been two fantastic signings for us, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. So that's about as much as I've got to tell you at the moment. I will see you in the next episode for the first round of the Champions League qualifying stages. Hopefully we get a nice easy draw and we can get through to the second qualifying round and just rake in some more money and hopefully become professional. Let's see if we can become professional now. No, it doesn't even give me the option to select on. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I'll see you in the very next episode. If you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button and of course subscribe for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and have a drink and I'll see you all later.